Okay, the previous video showed you how to pull traffic reports. Now I'm going to show you how to pull lead reports. All right, so we need to log in, and I need to get you the login information here. We're going to click sign in. When you sign in, it defaults to the calls section here. Go ahead and click on calls, and it brings down a menu, and we're going to click on export calls. So what we're doing is we're exporting all of the data into a CSV file, which we can open up in Excel and manipulate. All right, so right here, you're going to want to change this to your email address because it actually emails you the file. So if you don't change this, it's going to come to me and you're not going to get it. So anyway, this is where you share it. This is where you change to your email. That's all you have to do up here. Down here, we're going to select the dates. It's not a very big section, so it's hard. It's kind of easy to miss sometimes, but click in here, September 1st through September 19th. And whoops. And that's all we have to do is just select the dates, change your email up here, and scroll all the way down and click Run Export. All right, so now it's going to email us that export. So we're going to go to our email, and it usually is very, very quick. So we click in here. Here's the email that they sent. It's going to be a zip file. So we're going to download the zip file, and we're going to open it up. Inside the zip file is a CSV file. We're going to open up that CSV file into Excel. And here it's actually very simple. Even though there's a lot of data in here, all we care about is this tracking source. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight this column. I'm going to copy it. Then I'm going to create a new worksheet by clicking the plus here, and I'm going to paste it. And then I'm going to sort this column ascending. Whoops. I gotta sort, and then I have to tick this box. My data has header so that it doesn't actually sort that tracking source one. All right, so boom, there we go. We got it sorted. Now we just need to use one function, and this one is, so you double click in here and you say equals count if, and then you can just click on here, and then it's going to be A:(A, comma A2, end paren. So what this is doing is counting how many times this appears in the entire A column. So here's your range. A:(A means the entire A column. And we're selecting how many times the value in cell A2 appears. So if we hit enter, you'll see that it appears 8 times, and we can verify that that's valid because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times. So we're going to just highlight this one section, and we're going to double click so that it, here, let me go back. So you hover over the right corner and then double click. And what it does is it carries that formula all the way down. So if we look in here, it's counting how many times this one appears. So now, because we've got a formula in here, we're going to, and we want to get rid of that formula. We just want the raw data to appear. We're going to copy the column, and then we're going to right click and paste special value. Okay. So if we click in here, you'll see that it's the value now. It's not the formula anymore. All right. So we're just going to label this count. All right. So now we want to remove all the duplicates because we just want to have one line to see how many calls came in from this. So we're going to highlight column A and B, and we're going to click on remove duplicates and make sure the my data has headers is ticked. We're going to click OK. And there we go. So now we have the call count for each unique call tracking source. So why don't we, so the ones that we get credit for are SEO and SMO, as well as these website ones. So we're just going to go and delete the ones that don't apply to us. So we're going to highlight this. Oh yeah, there is one more to keep that I forgot to mention, and that is the per call RMC SEO. So we're going to delete these top part. So we send them leads via one of our lead gen sites. So we get credit for these 13 calls. All right, so I've deleted the ones that didn't apply up above there. I'm gonna move down here. We got SEO, SMO, we're still good. Okay, we don't get credit for these two, but we do get credit for all the website ones. However, this website, we don't do, oh, you know what? I kind of screwed up. So we only currently have 3 sites with them right now. We've got Her House, His and Her Houses, and His House Rehab. So we can actually delete Marito, New Creation College, and New Creation Treatment. We're working to get those 3 campaigns back, but right now we can delete them. This right here, this is local SEO. So we get credit for these calls. All right, SMO, we keep His House, we keep His and Her, we can get rid of Marito, New Creation Treatment, and that was Facebook. Now Google Plus, we got some calls from His and Her Houses, we get credit for that. Instagram, His and Her Houses, we get credit for that. Snapchat, His and Her Houses, we get credit for that. Twitter, His and Her Houses, we get credit for that. All right, this one we're not doing work on, so we delete that. All right, Her House, His House. This one we're not working on, and these 2 as well. And then these are inbound calls, I believe, or some are outbound calls, I should say, but let's delete those. Okay, so what we're left with is the per call RMC SEO, and then anything that has Her House, His House, or His and Her Houses in it. So we've got our SEO, and we got our local. So these actually get credited into His House and Her House, and I'll show you that. And then SMO, we've got His and Her and so forth. Anyway, I think I'm repeating myself here, so you get it. So right here, we're going to get a total count as well. Actually, what we want to do is one more step first. So I'm going to create a new column. I apologize for going back and forth there. And we're going to do website. And we're going to do RMC. And this one is Her House. And we're just going to type Her to make it quicker. His and Her Houses is His, Her. His House is just His. Okay, so now the Prado House, we have to open up a browser because I forget some of these are His House and some of these are Her House. So let me pause the video for 1 second. I'll bring up a website. Okay, I unpaused it. I opened up a browser here. So you'll see on Her Houses, I went to the locations page, and you'll see that Prado is a Her House location. So we're going to assign this to Her. And then let's go to His House, and you'll see that Carlos and Palm are both His House. So, oh, you know what? It says it right here. That is funny. This whole time I keep looking. So, all right. So disregard having to open up the browser. I apologize here, Sham. Her House, it says it right there. His. Okay. And now these are pretty obvious. So this is His, Her. This is His, Her. This is His, Her, Her, and His. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to sort. I got to maximize this. We're going to sort by website because we want to get a total per website. So let's just cut this column and move it over here. And let's put one more column in here so we can do a total. So right here, we're going to get the total Her House leads. So we're going to do a sum of this. Right here, we're going to do a sum of this. And then right here, we're going to do a sum of this. And last but not least, a sum of the 1, which is 13. All right, so the end result is we've got Her House. Let's see, site leads. We've got Her, His, Her, His, RMC. we've got 38, 105. I'm sorry, that's the his house one, 105, and her is 28. So this, and I'm sorry, this one's 13. So this one actually should be calls. All right, so there's two more ways that we get credit for leads, and that is through chats and through form fills. So I've paused it momentarily and opened up analytics again, because this is where we're going to pull the form fills. All right, forms and then chats. Okay, so forms, what we're going to do is we're going to go to, so we're in her houses up here. Behavior, site content, all pages. And every time somebody fills out a form, they go to the thank you page. So we just need to view how many people viewed the thank you page. So let's just type in thank. And you will see, we'll take credit for this one too, even though something weird happened there. So we get 6. So on her house, we get 6 form fills. So it's the page views. It's not the unique. We actually get credit for page views. All right, so let's go and change this to his and her houses, and again it's going to pre-populate it. Oh shoot, I forgot to set the dates. Sorry Sham, this video is a little bit of a mess, but I think you get the picture. So let's go back to her houses, and I need to set the dates. So let's do the 1st through the 19th, which is what we're looking at. And the thank you page, we actually get 24 leads. That sounds much better. All right, so now let's go to his and her houses. And we only have 2 to that one. And then his house, this one should be the most. His house clean view. We have 116. The form fills for RMC, I will handle that one because we get emailed them and it's too tricky to explain, but there's usually very few of these anyway. So just put 0 in there for now. All right, so that's how we get form fills. Pretty simple. It's behaviors, site content, all pages, and you filter. Just put thank, because each site has thank you in there. Okay, so that's the form fills. Now for the chats, we go to snapengage.com and we log in here. And I need to get you this login. Again, you need to make sure you're using Hide My Ass and use a United States IP address. We click login. And what we're going to do is we're going to go to, on the left here, analytics. And we want to go to visitor information. And we want to know which page they came from, because their stats aren't the best. So we want to know which page they came from. So we want to, again, select our date range, which is September 1st through the 19th, and click set range. Okay, so these are all the full URLs that caused a chat to occur. So we're going to download this because there's actually more pages than just what shows on here. At least there usually are. We're going to click download CSV. And I'm going to save it and then open it up. And what we're going to do is kind of similar to what we did previously. I need to assign a site. So we're going to sort by full URL. And so now we're sorted by this column. So we got all the her houses next to each other. We've got all the his and her houses and all the his houses right next to each other. And the site, if for RMC, because we get credit for our internal ones, it doesn't look like we sent them anything, but it's a My Recovery Hotline. So it would be right in here between Marito and New Creation College. If you see any My Recovery Hotline chats, then we get credit for that, and that should go in here, the RMC chats. So right now it's 0, we'll just put in 0. So we're done with that site. So all we're gonna do is, we don't get credit for this website because we don't work on it. So let's delete that. These are all her houses. We're good there. His and her house. Okay, and then his house right here. We do not get credit for Marito, New Creation College, New Creation Treatment. Oh, our other site actually produced some. So this is also an RMC website, Sober Recovery Hotline. So let's, I don't know what the heck this one is. So we actually get credit for 2 chats in RMC. All right, and so that's this one. So I can delete these 2 because we already took credit for them. So now I'm just going to total up in here. I'm going to total up all of the her houses. So if you look in column C, these are all her houses down to this one, and hit enter. So we got 24 there. And then right here, this is the first his and her houses. So right here, I'm going to go down to here. And then with his house, we get credit for all of these. Okay, so if I move this over here, in the chats, her house, we got 24. And on his and her, we got 6. And on his house, we have 53. So now I'm going to do let's center all this. Here, I can expand now that we're done. I'm going to put a total. And down here, we're also going to do a total. So over here, we're going to do a total for her house. And we're going to add all these together. And the same for his and her house. Same for his house. And the same for RMC. Okay, so now we want to, down here, we want to do a total for all calls. So we get a total amount of calls for forms, for chats, and then we can just get a total. There we go. So here is the report that you would want to send me. So in summary, we want to know how many calls, form fills, and chats have come in for our select date ranges for her house, his and her house, his house, and then any RMC internal lead gen site, which is currently My Recovery Hotline and Sober Recovery Hotline. Those are the 2 that you would possibly see. We don't have any other sites sending them traffic. So that's it. I know that I goofed up and had to go back a couple times, so let me know if there was any questions, but watch this a few times if need be, and let me know if you have any questions. So you would want to then just send me this. So I just open up a new worksheet here and then save it and email it to me. All right, let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.